This electric vehicle burst into flames in the middle of a busy street in Shanghai. Trying to extinguish lithium batteries with water is extremely dangerous, since they can explode and send burning fragments flying dozens of meters away. So, what do you do in a case like this? Norwegian experts at Bridge Hill came up with a clever solution: a massive fire blanket. 2 people grab the handles and within 30 seconds cover the burning car with a blanket measuring 8 by 6 meters. The special fabric can withstand heat of up to 1600 degrees Celsius, the same as inside a smelting furnace. The toxic smoke is instantly trapped and the fire suffocates without oxygen. On Norwegian ferries, these blankets have already saved dozens of lives. You can just cover the burning car and calmly tow it to shore. Watch how this huge concrete bridge in Taiwan sways during an earthquake. After those violent shakes, critical cracks appeared in the pillars and part of the framework was left exposed. 2 inventions tackle this problem. Quick Deck by brand Safeway is an emergency kit for builders. Workers assemble the platform under the bridge by hand without any tools. The system makes it possible to reach damaged areas quickly and strengthen the structure from the inside. It can handle a load of up to 360 kilograms per square meter. Chinese engineers in Libin took a more radical approach by placing giant rubber cushions with steel plates between the pillars and the spans. The bridge then rocks gently like a cradle, absorbing 80% of the impact force. After the 1995 Kobe earthquake, the Japanese government made it mandatory for all new bridges to be equipped with such systems. This is what a hurricane with winds of 250 km per hour can do. It rips car hoods off as if they were made of paper. Patio furniture, boards, chunks of roofing, everything turns into deadly projectiles. Even shutters are blown away in a second. Luckily, there's compact hurricane shutters, a real armor for your home. The aluminium slats are as thick as a finger and locked together into a solid wall. In testing, projectiles weighing 4 kilograms were fired at 80 kilometers per hour and they didn't leave a single scratch. When folded, all this strength hides away in a box only 15 centimeters thick. On top of that, a stainless steel mesh keeps looters out once the storm has passed. In Florida, these shutters are already protecting 50,000 homes. What we're seeing here is an underground fire followed by a series of explosions in Cleveland. Residents of nearby houses were evacuated immediately and the streets are blocked off. Sending firefighters into the epicenter would be madness, since new blasts could happen at any moment. And that's where the Chinese-built Unitree B1 robot comes to the rescue. 50 kilograms of high-tech armor on 4 legs. This machine can climb over rubble and walk up stairways with a slope of 35 degrees. Its casing is so well sealed that it can even submerge more than a meter underwater. Thermal cameras allow it to spot people through smoke and generate a 3D map of a room in complete darkness. The battery provides 4 hours of continuous operation, much longer than the oxygen tanks carried by firefighters. During the 2017 earthquake in Mexico, skyscrapers swayed like pendulums and people were trapped on the upper floors. How do you rescue them? Escape rescue can be deployed from the rooftop in just 5 minutes. These telescoping cabins descend at 3 meters per second, which means you could drop from a 60-story building and reach the ground in a minute. Each cabin holds 30 people, and boarding is done through special windows. A diesel generator makes the system completely independent of the building's power supply. Ground control via radio keeps panic in check at the top. In a single hour, this system can evacuate 500 people from the height of the Eiffel Tower. In Dubai, it saved 89 people during a fire at the Address Hotel. This is what the slopes of Mount Elbrus looked like during a massive avalanche. Thousands of tons of muddy water flooded the valley. But sometimes water contamination is even more dangerous. An oil spill in a harbour can wipe out marine life in just hours. American-made RSA skimmer robots act like floating vacuum cleaners. 4 motors let them maneuver with the precision of a drone. The onboard Mercer system separates oil from water, sending clean water back to the sea while collecting oil in tanks. Their capacity is 100 cubic meters per hour. GPS sets the patrol route, and the robots work in teams. But what if the danger comes from the sea itself? For that, Dutch engineers built Maasland, the largest movable storm surge barrier on Earth. Its 2 steel gates, each 210 meters long, weigh as much as 3 Boeing 747s. A computer monitors sea levels around the clock. If the water rises by 3 meters, the automated system swings the gates shut, creating an impenetrable wall. Since 1997, this barrier has saved the port of Rotterdam twice from catastrophic flooding. This bear decided to wander into a private home near Lake Tahoe. And of course, stopping a 300-kilogram animal that can crush a fence like cardboard isn't easy. But the moment it touches the electrified wire, 10,000 volts instantly surprise the unwelcome guest. Don't worry, the current is only 0.003 amps. It stings, but it's harmless. Pulses are delivered every 1.3 seconds, so the bear quickly learns to stay away. The galvanized wires last 20 years, while the solar panels make the system fully self-sufficient. Portable versions are used to protect campsites, taking only half an hour to set up. In Yellowstone, these fences have reduced human-bear encounters by 91%. The US National Park Service has officially recognized them as the most humane method. The bears stay safe, and people sleep better. In Barnaul, Russia, a pressure test on the heating network suddenly unleashed a giant geyser from underground. Stopping such force is nearly impossible. Traditional repairs mean tearing up half the neighborhood and shutting down traffic for months. Luckily, German specialists at Brandenburger repair pipes from the inside with no digging required. They insert a flexible sleeve soaked in epoxy resin into the old pipe through a manhole. Once inside, it's inflated like a balloon to match the pipe's shape. Then, UV lamps are switched on, and within 2 hours the resin hardens to the strength of steel. The result is a brand new pipe inside the old one, with a lifespan of 50 years. The method works on any diameter, from 10cm pipes to underground tunnels 2.5 meters wide. Robots first clear out roots and protrusions along the way. In Berlin alone, 500 kilometers of sewer have been restored this way without a single hole in the asphalt. Picture a building collapsing after an earthquake. Faint voices echo beneath the rubble. Survivors are still alive, but where exactly? And how do you reach them? The Brink Ball is a nearly indestructible spherical foam designed for this. Rescuers can throw it through any opening in the debris. It can survive a 3-meter drop straight onto concrete, and thanks to its IP67 rating, it even works underwater. Inside is a standard mobile module with a powerful speaker and a sensitive microphone. Rescuers just dial its number, and it instantly becomes a hands-free communication device. Built-in GPS transmits the exact coordinates. A lithium battery provides 24 hours of non-stop talk time or 5 days on standby. After the devastating 2023 earthquake in Turkey, the Brink Ball helped locate and save 34 people. A homeowner in Texas found water pouring into her living room. The river had risen and was already flooding the first floor. While she was calling rescue services, the water reached the kitchen. Sandbags? She would have needed thousands, as well as more time. Luckily, there is Watergate, a barrier that can be set up in 5 minutes by just 2 people. The trick is that the water holds itself back. The flow fills the lower part of the barrier, pressing it tightly against the ground, while the upper part floats by Archimedes' principle. Friction keeps the structure in place without any anchors. It provides protection up to 2 meters high, and each section is 15 meters long. The sections connect with Velcro fasteners, so you can build a barrier as long as you want. It's made of reinforced PVC, the same material used in rescue boats. After the floods, the barrier rolls up into a bundle the size of a sleeping bag. Watergate has already protected 500 sites in 30 countries, replacing millions of sandbags that nobody had to haul. In the British city of Leeds, a balcony in a high-rise caught fire, and the flames instantly cut off all escape routes. For situations like this, Russian engineers have developed the SPARS system, a unique parachute designed for people who've never jumped from a height before. The device is a 25-kilogram pack worn like a regular hiking backpack. After jumping out the window, you pull a special ring, and within 3 seconds, a huge protective cone 6.5 meters in diameter inflates around you. The rescued individual is enclosed inside this cocoon like in a protective capsule. A special aerodynamic canopy slows the fall to the speed of a regular bicycle, just 5 to 7 meters per second. When landing, pneumatic shock absorbers soften the remaining impact. The system works reliably from heights of 5 to 1,000 meters and is designed to save people weighing between 45 and 120 kilograms. Leave a like if this video taught you something new. These images from around the world show the same scenario. Within an hour, as much rain falls as would normally come down in a month, turning the streets into raging rivers. The main culprit behind these disasters is clogged storm drains blocked by fallen leaves. The German-built all-round master SKR 700 solves this problem before it even starts by cleaning 50 grates per hour. The operator sits in a climate-controlled cabin and works the joystick. A telescoping tube sucks up all the debris and sends it into a massive tank, while the dirty water is filtered and reused without the need to constantly refill. But if flooding has already begun, the Dutch-made BBA pumps is the best option. They can pump 5,000 cubic meters of water per hour. By the way, is your city ready for a flood? Tell us in the comments how you deal with torrential rain. We're at a construction site in Yoshkar-Ola, Russia. Here, a crawler crane suddenly lost its balance and collapsed onto the roadway. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the crane operator could easily have been injured if he'd been inside the cabin. Hip Hing Construction in Hong Kong came up with a brilliant solution. The crane operator now sits in a comfortable air-conditioned office. The Distant Tower Crane Command System transmits footage from a dozen HD cameras directly to the operator's screens. Artificial intelligence monitors everything. Is the wind too strong? Is the load too heavy? Is there an obstacle in the way? The system sends instant alerts. The operator can control a 200-meter tall machine while sipping coffee. On the Lee Garden 8 skyscraper project, accidents disappeared completely, and the pace of work increased by a third. At Houston Hobby Airport, strong winds brought down an airplane hangar. Tons of twisted concrete and steel blocked the runway. Do you think the answer is sending in workers with jackhammers? That would mean months of grueling labor and the constant risk of new collapses. Fortunately, the Swedish-built Husqvarna DXR145 crushes reinforced concrete as if it were nothing but walnuts. Its hydraulic hammer delivers thousands of joules with each strike, which is like dropping a fridge from the 3rd floor, only it does it 60 times per minute. The manipulator arm rotates 360 degrees and reaches the height of a 2-story building. The operator controls this beast from a safe distance of 300 meters via a secure radio link. But it's even better to prevent damage in the first place. Advanced hurricane technology has developed transparent aramid fiber screens that shield windows and doors from hurricane-driven debris. The Superspan model can cover openings 7 meters wide without support beams. With a tensile strength of 53 kilograms per centimeter squared, the screen can withstand the impact of a tree trunk flying at 200 kilometers per hour. It lets in natural light, allows air to circulate, and doesn't block the view. Plus, the UV-resistant coating lasts for 25 years. In this Chinese province, floods brought transportation to a standstill. Thousands of cars were trapped underwater, and highways turned into rivers. There was no way to evacuate people or pull out the submerged vehicles, since ordinary equipment was useless. That's when the Czech-built monster called Kalan powered its way through. This 20-ton amphibious vehicle can hit 50 km per hour on land and cruise at 12 km per hour in the water like a speedboat. Its Tatra V12 diesel engine roars like a beast, delivering 440 kilowatts of raw power. Inside, it can carry 70 people or a dozen stretchers with injured people. Water jets push it forward in the water, while the winch hauls out sunken cars as if they were toys. The Kalan can climb slopes of 60 degrees and leap across trenches 2.5 meters wide. On top of that, it doubles as a giant pump, moving 8 tons of water every minute. These images were shot near Islamabad, Pakistan, where baseball-sized hail made it impossible for people to step outside. Imagine the damage to the cars left parked in the open. Fortunately, a Canadian company called WeatherSolve came up with a clever idea: retractable nets that cover entire parking lots. The material is ultra-strong polyethylene, tough enough to withstand hailstones 10 centimeters wide, hitting at 150 kilometers per hour. The structure itself can take hurricane-force winds up to 190 kilometers per hour. An electric motor rolls the protective mesh into place in just 3 minutes. The netting winds onto a drum only 40 centimeters across, and the telescopic poles extend up to 8 meters high. The whole system can be controlled from a smartphone, while the built-in sensors trigger the net automatically when there's a sudden drop in air pressure. In Malaysia, a hurricane nearly toppled a traffic light onto a motorcyclist, but he managed to brake just in time. When traffic lights fall, especially at busy intersections, the result is chaos and danger. Street Smart has a fix that takes only half an hour: portable traffic lights mounted on special tripods, no foundations needed. The built-in cameras and radar constantly analyze vehicle flow, while the smart system automatically adjusts the timing of green and red phases. If one side builds up more traffic, the green light stays on longer there. Operators can manage dozens of intersections remotely from a tablet over the 4G mobile network. The batteries keep the system running for 72 hours straight without needing to be recharged. Landslides and rockfalls occur regularly along the mountainous road between Aloag and Santo Domingo in Ecuador. But how do you shield a road from boulders that weigh several tons, crashing down at highway speeds? The Swiss company GeoBrug designed the RXE barriers, which are able to absorb impacts of 10,000 kilojoules, the equivalent of a collision with a freight train. The key is a high-tensile steel mesh that stretches up to 8 meters under impact, gradually absorbing the enormous energy. The attenuator system doesn't just stop rocks, it guides them into a designated catch zone, where an excavator can safely clear them away. SmartGuard sensors send real-time data on every strike, so road authorities know exactly where and when cleanup is needed. In the Italian Alps, an avalanche buried a ski slope under thousands of tons of snow. Police, local officials, and road crews dug frantically to uncover a skier trapped beneath. He survived by sheer luck, but most people don't. Under snow, a person suffocates in 15 minutes. Luckily, the Norwegian SafeBack SBX system can stretch that window to 90 minutes. When caught in an avalanche, you pull a special lever on the backpack strap to activate a compact lithium-powered fan. It continuously pumps fresh air from the surrounding snowpack straight to the victim's face, 50 liters every minute. Exhaled carbon dioxide is vented away, creating a vital air bubble around the head. The system works even in extreme colds down to -30 degrees Celsius and weighs just 520 grams. No mask or mouthpiece is required. The air flows through the built-in vents in the backpack straps. After rescue, the system can be recharged and used again. The monsoon turns the streets of Mumbai into Venetian canals. Only instead of gondolas, there are flooded cars floating. Business is at a standstill, transport is paralyzed, and swarms of mosquitoes breed in the stagnant water. Indian Cosmos Pumps is defying the elements. Their submersible pumps dive right into flooded basements and mines, sucking out thousands of liters of water per hour. They operate completely underwater, no risk of short circuits. Before the rainy season, engineers check every nut, belt tension, and pipe tightness. Has the grease been topped up? Are the flow meters working? Is the drainage zone clear? Cosmos Pumps turns the flood back into a city. The rain falls and life goes on. At a rock festival, 50,000 fans rush to the stage. Metal barriers fall like dominoes. An Australian barrier group came up with a brilliant solution: plastic barriers with UV protection. Each section weighs as much as a bag of groceries, but it holds the pressure of the crowd. The latches connect the modules into a snake of any shape. You can build a maze to your liking. The acid orange color can be seen from a kilometer away, even at dusk. Rain, hail, 40-degree heat, plastic will withstand everything. Metal heats up in the sun, leaving burns. It rusts from the rain, and these barriers remain cold and bright for years. Schools, construction sites, parking lots, concerts – that's a universal protection from the chaos of the crowd. Earthquakes are part of daily life in Japan, but that doesn't stop houses from collapsing like a house of cards during strong tremors. Buildings constructed with base isolation, however, remain standing as if nothing happened. The secret lies in the special pads placed between the foundation and the building itself. These consist of layered rubber and steel with a lead core inside. When an earthquake hits, the foundation shakes violently, while the building above sways gently. Pendulum bearings coated with Teflon let the building move slowly, with an oscillation period of 2 to 3 seconds. Conventional buildings vibrate at just 0.1 seconds, a destructive frequency that tears structures apart. With base isolation, seismic loads are reduced by 80%. After the quake, the building naturally shifts back into place thanks to the curved supports that act like springs. A fallen tree shorted out the power lines on a pole, filling the air with sparks, crackling, and the smell of burnt insulation. If anyone had been nearby, an accident would have been unavoidable. Every second of delay in treating an electric shock reduces the chances of survival. The French company Katsu has developed CZ54R, a rescue kit that every electrical substation should have. The kit includes a telescopic hook 1.5 meters long to safely pull a victim away from the current source. The special insulated cutters can sever a live cable, with sparks flying everywhere while the rescuer remains protected. The Class 3 electrical insulating gloves withstand up to 40,000 volts, which is on par with a lightning strike. Rubber boots completely insulate the wearer from the ground, and a special platform creates an additional safe zone for administering first aid. A voltage detector gives a warning signal if dangerous current is present nearby. Over the past 20 years, CATU's systems have saved more than 10,000 electricians around the world. In downtown Milan, a Russian submarine suddenly appeared out of the pavement. It looked real, but it was actually just a publicity stunt by an Italian insurance company. Still, the asphalt was left badly damaged. And the truth is, you don't need submarines for that. Roads develop cracks and potholes every day. The Python 5000 Plus fixes them on the move. The operator sits in an air-conditioned cab and controls a robotic arm with a joystick, almost like a video game. The arm stretches 2 meters in any direction, sprays hot asphalt straight into the pothole, and presses it flat with a roller delivering 62 kilograms per square centimeter. The patch ends up stronger than the surrounding road. The hopper holds 4.5 tons of mix, enough for 200 potholes, while the heating system keeps the asphalt hot for 6 hours. Best of all, the machine moves with traffic, so no road closures or traffic jams during repairs.